What's going on, everybody? Today, I want to talk to y'all about a very important subject. It's the yin and yang of frequencies when it comes specifically to EQ and vocals. Let's get into it. So, what I mean exactly about the yin and yang of frequencies is, say, for example, you have a region between 150 to 300 hertz. That could mean if that's too loud, it could be boomy or muddy. But if it's too low, it could be thin, or if boosting it could create some warmth, some body, some soul. Sometimes you see these vocal EQ cheat sheet graphs, and it's like, oh, cut here for warmth, or for boost here for warmth, or cut here for muddiness. But you have to know what you're going for and what you're listening for in order to get the result that you want. So I just want to show some examples from this across the whole EQ spectrum on a vocal, just to kind of help grasp the idea of listening to your source first and then figuring out where you want to go. Don't just say, oh, because I saw on this vocal EQ sheet that I'm supposed to cut right here, I cut right there, or because you have some template and it's always cut right here and always boosted right here, that you do it every time. You got to listen to your source first. Like, start with the source first and then try to imagine in your head where you want to go and then go there. So let's just play this vocal real quick and we'll just play like 5 seconds of it.
Element wants you obsessed, told him I'm unimpressed. Now you wanna be all on my shit. He really wanna be first place to shit.
So that's a vocal. We'll maybe loop, I don't know, from right here or something. So if we pull up EQ and we turn this analyzer on, because I know y'all like the analyzers.
Baby, oh baby, it's obvious your intentions played.
We see stuff happening, but we're not going to use that. We're going to turn this off. We're going to use our ears. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to use the Pro Cue for this. So let's find that section where it's warm and boomy, like the same kind of vibe.
Baby.
So right in that area, the right amount of that can be nice and warm and full, but too less of it can be thin and brittle.
Baby,
so
oh baby, it's obvious your intentions play that role like it's your mission. Baby, I know it gets hazy, but it's cool cause I know what you really want. Oh, baby.
After making those boosts and cuts, it's like, well, do I even need to do any of that? You got to listen first. This is very, it depends. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's with a lot of mixing, it depends. So this area might sound this way in solo. Very, very muffled, kind of boomy. But when I boost it,
oh baby, it's obvious your intention.
That's an 11 dB boost right there. And it's still not sounding too crazy. Or if I cut it.
Baby, oh baby.
Now when I cut it, it does get a little thin. It's still not sounding crazy, but it's kind of thin now. It's losing something, it's losing some emotion.
Baby, oh baby, it's obvious your intentions play that role like it's your mission. Baby, I know it gets hazy, but it's cool cause I know what you really want.
Just that little move right there, to me, is all that's needed for the start, for this area, for this vocal. Because it's like, I like naturally what's already there. I just need to bring it down a little bit just to accentuate some of the clarity, some of the presence up top,
Baby, oh baby, it's obvious your intentions play that role like it's your mission. Baby, I know it gets hazy, but it's cool cause I know what you really want.
That's all. It's just that frequency range is just attracting too much attention right now. And that's not the range that I want people's ears to focus on when they hear this instrument or this vocal. So just that little move, we could probably just make this a regular 1 dB.
Baby, oh baby, it's obvious your intentions play that role like it's your mission. Baby, I know it gets hazy.
That's all. That's where we at right there with so far, right? So that's the warm kind of boomy area. And now you may come back and you want to, you know, after you do a high pass filter, or maybe you want to do a shelf or something, you know, this might adjust later, but this is just a starting point, right? So we'll go up to, you know, this frequency range right here. We're doing this very general, very specific. I'm just trying to show an example. So this area is kind of sensitive as well because it could be nasally or kind of honky, but it can also be a certain energy, you know, a certain aggression or a certain clarity. You know, our ears are kind of tuned to hear best in this frequency range, but too much of it can be kind of hard on your ears, but not enough of it, it could be difficult to hear what exactly is being said. You know what I'm saying? So it's a fine line between what is needed. You just got to listen. It's, again, it depends, you know? You got to listen. So let's just listen real quick.
Baby, oh baby, it's obvious your intentions play that role like it's your mission. Baby, I know it gets.
So right here is more so that clarity.
Baby, oh baby, it's obvious your intentions play that role like it's your.
It's almost like the vocal kind of goes back a little bit. Maybe that'll be useful in the future for you. We're just gonna breeze past that though. Don't let that go over your head. But turning this frequency range up and down, just listen to the effect it has, how the vocal changes.
Baby, oh baby, it's obvious your intentions play that role like it's your mission. Baby, I know it gets hazy, but it's cool cause I know what you really want. Oh, baby, oh baby, it's obvious your intentions play that role like it's your mission. Baby, I know it gets hazy, but it's cool cause I know what you really want. Oh, baby, oh baby, it's obvious your intentions play that role like it's your mission. Baby.
In this case, there's a little subtle bit of nasaliness. This is a well-recorded vocal. I mean, I recorded it, but it's a decent recording, you know what I'm saying? So it don't really need much. It's the frequency representation is represented pretty well. How I hear vocals is certain frequency ranges that are grabbing my attention, and it's not the range that I want to grab my attention. So I try to turn those other frequency ranges down first, and then see if that brings out the parts of the vocal that I want to hear. But you see how turning this frequency up or down just changes the nasaliness of it, the clarity of it, versus, or the kind of a subtle harshness of it, versus it being kind of far away from you, or less clear, less present, less upfront, you know? Just with frequencies, just with EQ, just with one frequency range, trying to find the right amount of cut or the right amount of boost for that frequency range, it gives you a result.
Baby, oh baby, it's obvious your intentions play that role like it's your mission.
So now we're gonna go with like brightness, or so like this presence and brightness kind of area right here. And this is very general. There are other kind of like smaller subset type frequency ranges, and you know, we can get into high pass and stuff, but we just keeping it real basic, real simple for this video. Just something for you guys to think about. So this brightness area could be harsh. Depending on how much you boost, it could become very harsh or very brittle or very cheap sounding, or kind of like fizzy, fry-y, or whatever. Or not enough of it can be dark and sound maybe not as expensive, or not as airy, or whatever, not as present, just not as detailed, you know? So like, let's boost and let's cut and see what we feel, what changes.
Baby, oh baby, It's obvious your intentions play that role like it's your mission. Baby, I know it gets hazy, but it's cool cause I know what you really want. Oh, baby, oh baby, it's obvious your intentions play that role like it's your mission. Baby, I know it gets hazy, but it's cool cause I know.
You see up here, it's like really fry. It's kind of getting a little harsh. It's like some frequencies that we need to we kind of need to relax. Going a little crazy. I mean, we're doing this for example purposes. We're exaggerating for example purposes, but you know what I mean. But when we're turning down this frequency, you see how it gets dark. It's less detailed. It's less present, for lack of a better word, right? So let's listen to that one more time.
Baby, oh baby.
But that right there could be a sound. This could be a dark, warm texture sound. You could put some type of distortion or something on this vocal and kind of give it a warm, old texture just by doing something like this.
Baby, oh baby, it's obvious your intentions play that role like it's your mission.
Like this doesn't necessarily sound bad. It's just what are you trying to do? What are you going for? Or
baby, oh baby. It's obvious your intent.
That's a little, them S's is a little tingy.
Baby, oh baby. It's obvious your intentions play that role like it's your mission. Baby, I know it gets hazy.
I'm kind of rocking with this area a little more for like that presence. Up here for me, it's a little too sizzly. Not necessary, but literally. That's just the starting point right there for this vocal. Just a starting point, just a vibe. This is not the final EQ vocal. This is more so just an example. But we could just quickly A-B these little few moves right quick.
Baby, oh baby.
See how the vocal just feels a little stale. It doesn't have a full personality yet. It has a performance, but it doesn't have that full personality yet. And when I bring this EQ in, it'll have some kind of personality. Might not be the best, but it'll be something.
Baby, oh baby, it's obvious your intentions play that role like it's your mission. Baby, I know it gets hazy, but it's cool cause I know what you really want. Oh, baby, oh baby.
Just that's a little more energy, a little bit more of a vibe. That's literally it. Just by listening to the vocal and figuring out, okay, how much do I need in this frequency range? How much do I need here? Do I need a little less? Do I need a little more? You know, and I would detail this more. I'd probably do some kind of a boost in here somewhere just for a little more fullness, a little more body, a little more forwardness. But this is just very basic, very simple. Just trying to show you all the yin and yang of these frequency ranges. It's not you cut here all the time. Because sometimes I'll get a very thin vocal and this will be boosted like crazy. Or I'll be coming up here on the shelf too, trying to just make it more warm, more body. Or I might just totally come with a tilt sometimes and just flip it like that real quick because it's like, it's just very thin, you know? So you got to listen, you know? You got to listen and figure out what the vocal is telling you it needs or what the sound in general is telling you it needs. Not just cut or boost in a certain frequency range every time because that's what you saw on a vocal video or something, or a YouTube video or a preset template or whatever the case is, or you saw another engineer mix a song and it sounded cool and you think you just do that on your song, but like you got to listen and do what the music is telling you to do. So hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully this gets y'all thinking about frequencies a little differently and how you boost versus cut. And my biggest thing that I want y'all to take away from this is to listen to the sound first and imagine where you want to go and then try to go there. Don't just do things just because you saw somebody else do it. Just try to imagine a sound in your brain and then go there. And then once you think you're there, bypass all the plugins, imagine that sound in your brain again, and as soon as you unbypass the plugins, you should hear that. And if you don't hear it, you be like, oh, okay, I'm off. So let me Let me readjust to try to get, you know, to where I'm trying to go. You feel me? Like, just try that. That's the takeaway that I want y'all to take away for real. If you're liking the vibe, like and subscribe. Watch another video.